Welcome to this week's episode of the BitCast Vodcast. This is episode 8, Outings. We are going to cover the last 3 weeks of all the changes in the game and discuss all the things going on.
Oh, 3 weeks. Oh, we're doomed.
Yeah, 3 weeks. It's been a while. And I am Shocktor, and I am joined by, to this side, I've got, starting with emberKat.
Hello.
And go ahead. And then Teloril over there, all the way over there.
Laurel. Damn Americans.
Teloril, sorry.
Hello. How you going?
And so starting off this week, let's talk about things going on. I have to say, our big thing in the last few weeks has been finishing a very, very long road that took us 2 months to do. And that was quite the project to finish. We now have a very flat, straight road through the Rocky Garden. And let me tell you, the Rocky Garden is not easy to make flat and straight. So, but yeah, to start off on what's going on with you all, go ahead, Ember.
Hi. I am currently sick, so I do apologize if you see me coughing and possibly sneezing and all the gross things. But that's pretty much what's been happening with me this week. The past 3 weeks, I started doing renovations for my base. It slowly but surely is gonna, come into fruition. Stole some. Well, I didn't actually steal. I actually bought tier 9 stone from Dragon's Head. So if you're missing 5,000 stone, hi, I bought that.
Pebbles.
Pebbles, yeah. Pebbles.
Yeah.
So it was like 100,000. I felt like it was a big purchase, but worth it. But other than that, I am officially a war vet. So I got to be part of my first war. What's that?
The good one. The good war. It's a good war.
Yeah. Also, Tel was part of the same war. Tel, you were front and center for that war, though. So.
Oh yeah. So Jarud pissed someone off, and they're like, "We're gonna get you," and then they attacked me.
Yep. But yeah, it was
fuck that guy.
My first time. I did the whole capsule runs and got to participate on like a supporter role, not necessarily a frontline role, but was one of those like constantly paying attention to see what was happening, who was getting attacked, where and why and how, and I mean, it's still ongoing drama, surprisingly.
Wow.
So
And did not reach us, at least.
yeah, you guys in your region 1, they're like, nah, they already dealt with their war. Like,
Yeah.
we'll leave them alone. But it was primarily region 5 and 7? I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You have more details than I do, because like I said, I just.
Well,
Meh.
I don't follow too much because they attacked us. We kind of just got in the sideline, but yeah, they're from Region 7. It's the Black Flag. They were kind of attacking everyone, and then we're like fed up of it. And yeah, basically generally they got shut down after that. It seems like most recently they have merged with another faction, like they subjugated, so I think they're done. But there's all sorts of unsavory characters and that, because war is never done by just chill people who want to just like have fun with it. It's always drama.
Yeah.
It's been drama every single time. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
We hit tier 8. As for us, we hit tier 8. Tier 8 township. And then what was it? Tier 8 township. And we're working on fake tier 9.
Fake tier 9. Nice.
Oh, sorry, fake tier 10. Fake tier 10.
Oh, fake tier 10. Okay.
We hit tier 9 township, and we're hitting fake tier 10 soon.
Yes. So, the next. So, are there any other updates you all have besides the war? And Tel mentioned getting there. What about you, Ember, as far as what your settlement is doing? You did say the pebbles, so just wanted to make sure you got everything.
Yeah, it's still an ongoing. I should put a excuse our dust. Is that what hotels do when you have renovation? Excuse our dust as like a sign in the settlement.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, so that's been the main thing. We do have a lot of updates. So as we touch on the updates, like we can go through what we've done with those. But yeah, for the most part, it's just been the war and settlement stuff. So
okay, all right.
And you have your road.
Yes, and we have our road. That's pretty much about the extent of
we're always working on our rocky road. So
nice.
Checks out.
Yep. So we can move on to the patch notes. We're going to go back in time here to the end of the month patch notes for end of October, which was the monthly big patch where they gave us outposts. And that was, if let's see if we can bring up the patch notes, or I'll just talk about it. So they added outposts, which is a huge thing, which is why Tel mentioned fake tier 10, because you can now get yourself to that beginning of the tiers at least, and you can have, basically you can be a tier 10 settlement without actually having any of the other stuff yet, but you can get that X on the map, which will look really nice. So a big part of it was the settlements are now changed to townships. So when you do a full settlement change, you are a township. And that's when you have all the professions unlocked. And there was also, I've got to make sure I get all the major points here. Sorry, this is, I'm hosting this week, so I apologize, a little rough. And so... So they did do a few things in the update with the claims, basically, where you can now have your own fishing settlement, for example, if you want to just concentrate on fishing, which is actually something that I've been doing. What have you all done with outposts? Start with either one of you.
We have a big outpost. Obviously, we have Dragon's Tail, but they're really high tiers. So I think we still have to get them to tier 8, like fake tier 8, outpost tier 8, and then we have to decide whether we're going to get them all the way to township or not. I think the leader of Dragon's Tail ends up wanting to do the whole thing, like do the proper township, but it's nice to have the option now. And if we were a bit earlier game, it's really nice to be able to the idea of it. I think when we're probably not going to go for tier 10 because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So we might end up maybe breaking it up into like sections, like one tier station, 10 station at a time, even for the main place. But I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Ember, have you all?
I was gonna say we were gonna start doing the outpost for the mining place because we were originally going to get that to tier 6. And then the outpost thing happened, and I was too busy with war to really get that outpost up and running, but hopefully at some point soon. It couldn't have been added at a better time because we were still at tier 3. And so we were on the path to waste a lot of resources to get it to complete township tier 6. But now that the outposts are a thing where it's going to be mining and fishing. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing that. I saw a lot of people complaining about how outposts are like killing settlements, but I'm like, I don't think so. So I think it's useful to have like an outpost.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, people were talking about like, oh, there's no point in doing like settlements anymore. You just do an outpost everywhere, and like people would have like 20 outposts. And I'm like, I also haven't seen that like initiated across the map yet. I've seen a couple.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I've seen a couple pop up, but for the most part, no. I think it's useful, especially if you have high tier caves. If you have high tier caves and you want to be able to have an access point to be able to process those materials, having the outpost, to me, I think, well, it'll be nice on launch to have that immediately. I think a lot more people will have things set up that way, but as of right now, being able to utilize it for what it's meant to be utilized for, or as Tel says, fake
Right.
fake settlements and stuff like that. So
No, I certainly agree, because if you have an area like, for example, even our own settlement, there's really no point in upgrading some of the things. It would make more sense for us, for example, to upgrade to maybe a tier 7 settlement, not full settlement, but tier 7 mining, because we don't have the resources around us to really cover the whole reasoning for having a full-on settlement. And that would be one reason I can see why people say there's outposts everywhere, because you could be custom to that area and do that. So go ahead.
The matter of fact is that on that angle, there's no point in doing a town once someone hits tier 10, right? Like, in the people are like, oh, hey, there's no point in doing a township. Now they get everyone just outposts. Well, it's kind of true in a way. Like, there's no point doing tier 10 towns everywhere, really. So
Right.
I think the natural state will be a kind of radiating hex system where it's like you have a main town or two in a region and then outposts radiating out of it. I think that makes sense. It also makes sense from like a society kind of perspective too, right?
Efficiency too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very efficient to not have duplicate tier 10 townships.
You still need to get to
people
the
really want
the previous township to level it up anyway. So
that. Right. Yeah, you have to have at least one in order to even process supplies. There has to be at least one to do it. So also on that whole thing, in this last update, the tier unlock for each research it's a lot less to get to that first part, but for the cost of the full township, it's the same as it used to be just doing the settlement upgrade. It's going to have the same cost to it. So that was also in these patch notes. And another thing that was interesting, the banks being tier 2 settlement, which is normal, but the marketplace not being able to be placed down until you reach a tier 4 township is, I thought, a very
just town.
thing. I'm sorry?
So you just need to get tier 4 town.
Right. Oh, okay. So you don't need to be a full. Okay, so it could be a tier 4 fishing, and you could put down.
Once you get fake tier 4, you can place a market. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
that's interesting.
so in the patch notes,
It says township. Yeah.
it says
It does say township. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it is township. Well, my understanding was that the very first, like, the fake upgrade is what unlocks town buildings, like the bank and stuff. So, but I'm not sure.
And the fact that you can now go ahead.
I'd have to check Rico.
Okay.
But
Yeah, the fact that you can now just research market and bank and then be able to put them in as big, that you don't have to buy it and then have that cargo item and ship it around. And
yeah, it makes more sense. I think the cargo item was just our legacy item, basically.
I have so many of those sitting in my bank now. Just the
Right.
extra
I think
banks.
you can turn them into money.
You can?
I'm pretty sure they said they were, yeah.
Like I could sell it back or something?
I think so. There's something like that.
Huh. Yeah, because I have like a bunch of the extra stuff now that I'm like, oh. So, need to figure out something to do with that.
So those were the major things. They also buffed the output of, I'm kind of jumping all over the place with the kind of the more important aspects of this and down to the lesser ones, but buffing the output of the buckets for tiers 5 to 10, which I haven't personally been able to test because I haven't done any tier 5 buckets. That would be the lowest tier of that I can actually do. So, but I do have to say it is nice that Claim Tech is researched instantly instead of having to wait. That was actually very nice. All of those upgrades. Have you all done any of those?
I was gonna say, I'm a little sad that they didn't do that prior, because like waiting 3 days to get your settlement like research done, I'm like,
yeah,
I did all this work already. Why do I have to wait 3 more days?
Right. It's like the big moment when you got there and you hit the button and it's like, come back in 3 days.
We use
So
that. We use that time to like recover.
yeah, that's true. It's good recovery time. So those are the major points with that. They did add new audio for the crab boss, which actually I haven't gone back and checked. And so yeah, that's pretty much those are the major. I mean, the big thing. I mean, I may not be spending as much time talking about it, but it is the big thing having outposts and the UI, which we will come back to the UI with our latest update this week because it changed 2 weeks after this. And there were some good bugs that were fixed this week or that week, and the whispers being disabled by default in the general tab was kind of nice if you kept on getting whispers. But mounts that are following the player sometimes getting stuck on the pavement. My ox used to always get stuck. Now it's just slow. It walks very, very slow on the cement. It's like on the grass, my ox can keep up with me, but when hunting, but the second it hits pavement, it's like it just hit quicksand. I don't know if you all have had similar
I
experiences.
have not seen that yet, but that is funny.
Okay.
I'll have to pay attention to that next
Yeah.
time.
The ox and its little feetsies can't keep up on the cement. Probably hurts it. So we can move on to is there another?
We have the something that wasn't covered in previous patches.
Oh, yes.
So we gotta make sure, because that actually was implemented around this time, but we hadn't brought it up, and it was just kind of snuck under the radar.
Yeah, the character name change, that was a big thing. I actually had someone in my community who did change their name like the second that happened because they didn't like their name and that they had chosen when the game launched in June. And so they did the character name change. I know a few others that did it, and that was actually a really nice addition, I felt.
It's a little expensive, but for what it is, I can
A little
see it.
pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the shard things are fucking expensive.
Yeah.
They're really expensive.
It's 5,000 hexite shards to name change, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah. And when you don't
Ironically,
have
it's expensive, but it's also market rate, which is the crazy part.
That's true. Yeah, if you go to other games, it does tend to be kind of high to change your name. But right now, since there's not a whole lot to buy on the market, it's like, oh, hey, this is cheap because it's the only thing. So, though now we have two things, but it could be the only thing. So, yeah, those are the big things having to do with the Outposts update from 3 weeks ago. And so now we can move on to the November 6th patch notes, which brought us our tier 7 dungeon, which I have to say was the first day for at least our group, was wonderful. Sometimes these bugs in early access, it's one of the reasons I like early access, because the bugs can be endearing. And this was one that was just great where, you die and you pop back up. And as long as it's just like, in Jurassic Park, if you don't move, the T-Rex is not going to get you. And that's pretty much what happened here. We had don't move and just fire arrows. I guess you're just a statue firing arrows or whatever at the boss.
I was watching you stream that dungeon run, and you brought up it's the T-Rex don't move, and I died of laughter because I'm like, now I can't unsee that. I'm gonna think of all these spiders as tiny little raptors.
Yes, they're just little raptors. Like, where did they go? Did you all try it at all? The tier 7 dungeon, Tel, Ember.
I think Tel is.
I think Tel disappeared.
Yeah, he disappeared for a second. No,
Yeah.
I unfortunately didn't get a chance to do the tier 7 dungeons yet. I watched both you and Tony though doing it.
Okay.
And watching it the first day and seeing kind of the cheese strat, the Jurassic Park cheese strat, I was like, oh, okay. And then watching it after it got fixed, it was very interesting to see the difference between how difficult. I mean, they're saying this is tier 7, so like going from the tier 3 dungeon to the tier 7 dungeon. it's a pretty big jump, and difficulty wise, it looked kind of almost impossible. But we'll get into that later on as well of what they did to change that. But no, I think watching it and seeing the fact that there was some other mechanic that was added was very interesting. Did you feel like it was a like, have you gone back through after doing the dino strat?
I have not gone back because before I knew about the dinosaur strat was because I would move around and I would just get instantly killed. So I know that I'm not geared enough, and I've got tier 5. What's it called? It's the specific
The
for
duelist.
dungeons. Yeah, duelist. I got tier 5 duelist, and I was getting mowed down when I was moving around. So I know that going back in was not going to be fun. So I actually didn't even try.
I'm only in tier 3.
You
I
only
haven't
tier
had
3?
much experience with it.
You have no experience. Okay, it was very interesting. Have either of you tried the hunter's goat?
Yes, and I don't like it.
Have you? Do you do any hunting at all with?
Barely, really. But I the one funny thing about the hunter's goat is it's kind of just worse than following now because the animals following is just better. Like, you don't have any getting on, getting off. So you came too late, ironically.
Yeah. It's nice. I think it's a nice thing because sometimes the animal can get stuck, but overall, that was like one of the first things I did before the dungeon. I can't remember, and I felt like the ox is just better to have it follow you, even though it gets stuck on like everything, including cement. And that was also the ox fits more. I do like how the hunter's goat has a little more storage, so people who aren't high level, they do get it tiny bit. But in this game, every little bit can count. So that was nice. And the next thing we had was a lot of cargo packaging. Have either one of you done much with that?
Oh yeah, scholar packages are great.
Nice.
Much needed.
I was gonna say I haven't done any of the scholar packages, but the fact that they're actually implementing more packaging to me is just amazing, because then it enables more people in like the merchanting side of the game to be able to transfer stuff and do more activities versus, I have to transfer 100 at a time. Like, now that they can bulk transfer like thousands at a time, which is nice.
Right. So. Agreed. And the parchment, fish oil, pigment, all those things, it is incredibly nice, especially fish oil, since you need so much. So that was a very good thing, because now you can put it into the actual cargo storage, and that's pretty nice overall. And the stack size of food and pitch and tannin, but really food, is kind of a big thing overall that I thought was nice. Have you all tried that?
Fishing and fish fillets going from 10 to 50. Oh, so nice.
Yes.
Do they do rares yet? Like Braxite and that? I don't think they do,
Braxite? No.
No,
Braxite and stuff is still 10. That's the main thing that kind of messed with me.
Yeah, it was just food, pitch, and tannin, which if we worked a lot, we have a leather worker who works a lot in tannin, and that was a big one. So those were kind of the bigger updates from that week.
We also have Spider Pet.
Oh, that's right. The Spider Pet with the dungeon. You're right. I kind of just went right over that. That mainly because in all my runs, I never saw it. In fact, I don't think I've seen anybody with that pet in game. Have either one of you seen it?
I didn't know there was a Spider Pet.
Arachnophobia warning. I will be showing it. So here's your warning. If you do not like it, it's adorable. It's cute. It's like cartoony spider, so it's not like huge warning, but I do know that that's still an issue for a lot of people. But yeah.
Right, yes.
I'm going to show it in 3 seconds, so you have time to not look.
Cover your eyes.
But yeah, I think it's super cute.
Spider ever. Yeah.
That is cool. Yeah,
That's cool.
I've not seen it in the wild. Anyone with that pet? There might be somebody, but there. I know of two people in our region who might have it, but they're like on the other side.
Yeah, I've seen one screenshot of it in game, but I don't think too many people have been.
It's a hard thing to farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now. Day one was very easy to farm, but now, ever since day one, it has not been an easy thing to farm.
Yeah, and the fact that I saw chat saying Starbuck has one, and Starbuck Viper is the one who also does these.
Of course, Starbuck has one.
What was it?
Of course, Starbuck has one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so we have multiple people apparently that do have them, but Starbuck also does these the renders. So shout out to them for doing the renders each time and allowing us to showcase them as well.
Very nice. On that, the pet thing, I'm going to jump back to personal notes where I only talked about the road. I have caught the catfish on the from the update 4 weeks ago, I guess. I did catch it. It took about, I think my math might be wrong, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,000 fish caught, and I'm still trying to get another one. I just continue to go because I'm still not level 40 taming, so I can't do anything with it. So I'm almost there. I should be there Saturday. But that's my other side personal note I forgot, because it takes a very, very long time and lots of patience to catch that catfish for the cat pet. So I'm very impressed with the people who have that already.
Yeah, I still don't have one.
And you can spend all that effort and then you just get like a common cat after that too.
Right, I know. We'll see. I'll find out Saturday what I get. We'll find out. So those are the major things. The tier filtering wasn't working in the marketplace, but that has now been fixed.
That is.
I don't have any experience with that. Do you? Is that a big thing for you all?
It was one of those things where I was hyper frustrated that was not implemented. And so since it's been implemented, I haven't had the chance to really like deep dive into it very well. I just like toggled it and was like, okay, that works. And then that was it. But looking for gear, looking for tools, looking for even like if I was trying to find the tier 9 pebbles, stuff like that, it not being able to filter based on like what the tier is it should have been there a long time ago, but now it's there. Positive.
Right.
Yay. I don't know if you have the same qualms about
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I never did a whole lot of the it never did that detailed search, I guess, to be able to do the filtering by tiers. Though that is good to know, because there are times where I think in the past where that would have come in very handy. So there is that.
They did fix it's a known issue. I don't know if they're fixed it yet, but the player character being stuck in Elise's cave, door bosses are getting worse and worse.
I will say that was fixed. The collision and being able to move in Elise's cave was fixed this week.
That is
and
good.
I know that was an issue with the known issues from this one from 2 weeks ago. Some of these things have been fixed. So I don't have much experience with pet movement. That's for the spider. So I don't know if that's fixed, because there might be only 4 or 5 people in the whole game who have that pet. So the auto dismounting from a deployable when gathering, I think that was fixed as well. But yeah, just looking at the known issues from down at the bottom there, I believe those are actually, some of those are fixed since it has been 2 weeks. So that's kind of a quick run through on this specific one. But yeah, the dungeons, that was it was actually kind of out of nowhere kind of change, adding the tier 7 to it all. I thought that was
I was surprised to see it as a weekly update, because we 100% would have expected it to be a monthly update, but they kind of just dropped it, and I'm like, oh, well, that's really cool.
Yep.
I'm also a little surprised that they're jumping around as much as they are with the tiers, though. Like,
Makes sense.
How does it make sense?
I think because everyone complained that the tier 3 was way too easy because everyone's already endgame.
Oh,
That's true.
fair.
So yeah,
The T1 was there because they had it ready to go, and they were basically already done with it. But the tier 7 was what they did next because everyone was complaining that tier 3 was too easy. So it checks out.
It was a nice challenge, and eventually I'll get there. But I was intrigued by the laying the groundwork for some bigger updates in the coming weeks. This was, again, that was last week's change, so I am curious what the groundwork they laid. And this was some of the stuff they did when they put it in. I know they said look for some weird things, and there were some weird things with navigating, I noticed, with pathing and stuff, and they've kind of reverted most of that stuff in the last with this last update. But you all, have you noticed anything from that? I mean, just back-end stuff.
From what I know of the back end stuff, I don't know too much on what's coming, so I'm really curious about what's going to happen.
Okay.
It is pretty crazy the pace though. I mean I literally have done a video on recently on how a game was not updating very quickly, and this one is just constantly updating.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really wasn't expecting a whole dungeon in a weekly update.
Right. It was a nice one, and also the pumpkin cat is no longer available on the market as of this past update on, I guess, on the 8th, so a week ago or so.
But he will be back.
He will be back, yeah.
Yeah, he will be back for those who missed him. And yeah, so those are the major. It was a big small update, had a really nice additional surprise thing, and some quick notes about it. So
I unfortunately didn't get the pictures for the cosmetic rewards from the spider boss or the dungeon. Right. So if people are interested in looking for that, I think there's renders of it up on the main Discord. You can check that out. But yeah, again, every dungeon supposedly has its own gear set. And so Sentinel had one, Crab has one, and then now, how do we pronounce this? What's the, Arachnir? Is that what it's?
I think Arachnir, yeah.
Arachnir. So yeah, it has its own set of gear as well. So good luck farming it.
So we can move on to this week's notes for the Cozy Cottage was the title of this one. And this one was big because they did finally release a ton of the profession and skill achievements for the hats, specifically just the hats. And I have to say, of the ones, and they are now all pictured on the screen, I'm kind of surprised that the one for taming wasn't for exploration, and I'm surprised we didn't get a construction hat for construction. But I do like the headphones.
Didn't we?
Yeah, the construction's number 2.
Kind of a construction hat, but it's not your standard.
Oh, like a helmet.
Oh, you mean like a yellow helmet?
Yeah, like a yellow or bright orange. But
they probably need to work with something that will scale up, right? It's like a more advanced version.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a little steampunky.
It is. That's true. It is. So yeah, and it was actually mentioned to
It'd be
me
a great DLC cosmetic though, like a paid for one. It's just like a goofy hard hat.
Right. That's true. So have you all tried them on any outfits or taken a look at them? I know, Tel, you have your mushroom cap level 80.
No, I've been using the pumpkin, bro. I worked so hard to get the pumpkin.
Oh yeah, I would never take it off.
I think I'm still rocking the sunflower too, but I'm actually a little surprised with it being hats, because with all of the outfits that we have for like 40 and 60 and 80 and all that kind of stuff, having the hat like part of it. And then now we have like these hats as well.
Well, maybe the hat helps them like kind of as a baseline
Yeah.
for the rest of the uniform.
Hopefully.
Right. Maybe.
So, some of these definitely, like the foraging and forestry, kind of look very similar. Tailoring looks almost kind of like the Scholar Mushroom hat. The Slayer, I saw someone running around as a Bowser cosplay.
Nice.
Yeah. I do have to say though, my absolute favorite one right now is like the Paperboy, the leatherworking cap. And there's also, because I have the cat ear mask, it's very hard for me to find headpieces that actually work where you get to actually see the cat ears with them. So I'm gonna have to go through each one of these at some point and put them all on just to see kind of what works with it and what doesn't. But
Right. Maybe construction. That one's kind of close to the head. That could work.
yeah, some of these looks like they would be okay. But the Tailor Mushroom hat, you can tell will definitely hide the ears for sure.
That's true. That is very true.
But yeah.
So
What's your
but there
favorite
is
one out of
no-
these?
My favorite one, I actually
Tamer
I
hat's
think-
sick. I love the Tamer hat. I'm
Yeah,
really
the
looking
Tamer
forward
hat
to the full team Tamer set.
yeah, I do like the Tamer hat, and I did notice there is no hat for exploration anyway, so maybe that you could just say that's my kind of, that's kind of the Indiana Jones-ish kind of exploration kind of hat going on there. Only I'd say that with a little bit, but overall, I like having many options. So this I haven't gotten a chance to play around with them too much, but the first thing I looked at was the construction hat. I wanted to know what that one would look like, and that's pretty good. I look forward to level 40 profession or skills rather, and see maybe that's what they're saving the full construction hat for, the 40s and the 60s. So I'll give hope for that. The next thing they've added are the Empire banners, which you have to use your hexite to purchase the regal fabric, and you need to get 2 of them to make each one of these banners. It was actually a little hard last night for me to find how to actually make these. They did improve it today.
I was gonna say they did just post an update in the Discord telling people that the cost and crafting and kind of stuff like that, because people were essentially wasting hexite, not realizing the cost for some of them,
Right.
and then it's relatively expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
So also, thank you very much for supplying this photo.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'm the only one who supplied a good photo of it.
So you made all 6 of those, and I
I'm
like
just
the
using
design.
that today. Yeah, I think they're good. I made all 6. That's put them all out there. Cost quite a bit, but hey,
I
if
like the
you donate
Regal one.
700 bits to a BitCraft streamer, you can get 2 banners.
Fun.
Or, well, the streamer can get one, and then you can get one, making
It's
the
true.
2.
I like
So-
the regal design.
Yeah, I ended up going with I think I took Regal away because I don't like how high it is, but I ended up using I think either fancy or lavish for mine.
Yeah, I for a while there did not see what the difference was, because I was like, oh, it just changed the wood posts, and then I actually saw like the banner design itself. I think they could have
Right.
done a little bit more to differentiate them, but yeah, I'm in the I like lavish probably is like
Okay.
I also don't really know why. I can't put my finger quite on it, but when we were playing with it today on my stream, I couldn't quite figure out why, but when you place it just in the world, it doesn't feel or look as good as against a wall or something. Like if you have
Interesting.
it leading to something, it just doesn't feel right. And I'm not sure if that was just me.
Okay. I have not tested
Like
out
having them on the road, for example, it just didn't feel quite right compared to just having them as an entryway through, as long as they're against a wall or something.
Okay.
that's it. Now, do they rotate well, or
They rotate like like anything fucking rotates so crappily. They 60 degrees every click, which means that you can sometimes struggle with getting it right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I was like looking at this and I'm like, okay, based on where it is on the tile and how it rotates, I'm like, you
Yeah.
could have things on the road that are like diagonal where you don't really want them diagonal, so you'd have to
Yeah,
like place
that's right.
them.
So if you want them lined up, it won't. They won't. Depending on where your road is, it won't line up.
Interesting. Okay.
So
Yeah, I haven't
that's
had a
also a
chance.
problem.
And I think I like the Regal one better because the design is pretty different from the others, with the outside kind of strands are kind of angled the other way. I think that's probably why I like that one the best. But I do see the lavish one is very nice, and the base is nice.
Someone was saying that they look a lot like RuneScape capes.
Oh, really? That's funny. Hint, hint,
That is
nudge,
funny.
nudge.
Right. So they also added a context menu to collecting crafts from buildings, which I have not tested that. That seems interesting. So instead of, I assume that deconstructs it, and you just
You mean, does that mean like forages and stuff?
see, that's what I wasn't sure about. The wording of this I thought was interesting.
Oh,
Added a context menu option to collect crafts from buildings.
so I don't know if it's the same thing, but I'm gonna assume this is what they were talking about. If you right click and you do like the shift right click on farmland, it'll show you like collect 10 items. So I don't know if that's what it is, but I know like people were talking about like, oh, it saved me like a step. Because the context menu is the shift right click. That is the context menu. So an option to collect crafts, I assume then, is like if you have something that's on a loom and you shift right click it, you can just insta collect instead of having to click on the loom, hit claim.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm
So maybe it should be worded stations and not buildings. Collect crafts from stations.
right.
That would probably be better. I see. Okay. See, I
But
was
I
thinking
suspect
buildings.
that doesn't save a lot of time either.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Have either one of you tried the tier 8 furniture set?
No, but it looks super cool.
It does. And you have to be construction 80 to make it. And that we built a road, as I've mentioned, 2 months worth of doing it. And one of our people who put Prestius, I gotta shout him out, because honestly, 2 months of work on a road, he did not hit level 70 building this thing. So that should give you an idea of how long it will take to get the level 80 on construction. Yeah, I think you need to build several of those towers that Tel showed off a few weeks ago or last month to even, have a shot at that. And yeah, I've spent a good portion of the last couple months also doing construction, and I'm just short of level 60 right now, just short. But
There's
level
only
80,
one person in the game who has 80 construction, and that's Starbuck.
wow. So
There's
Starbucks,
one.
this was the
And
Starbucks.
Starbucks alt, by the way,
Oh.
who has been sitting there constructing a tower for this whole time.
Wow.
I don't know when they started, but it was a little bit back.
That is crazy. So yeah, it's so a tier set has been added for Starbucks alt.
Only
so-
only that person.
Yes, apparently they're the target audience for this for the Cozy Cottage update. So that was because this what the name is mainly been about. And so the next thing they did allow for us to put furniture outside, and that was very nice until it deleted all of them.
It was only at the
And-
tier 2. It was
That's
only,
true.
It was only, can't say it deleted all of them, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But most people have tier 2 because a lot of people have level 20 construction at least. And so what is your all's experience with the furniture, being able to put them all outside except for obviously the ones listed there?
I go ahead.
No, I don't think we've done too much with it yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Um,
with the revamp of my settlement is focusing on the Gothic stuff only, so we haven't crafted any of the outdoor stuff yet. But I have heard a lot of people, well, one with the problem with the tier 2, don't want to mess with outdoor furniture right now until like more updates go by. But go ahead, tell. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that in there.
No, that's right. That's yeah, kind of where we're at. We bought some log craft stuff, but we haven't done too much. I see it around the settlement. But I think a lot of our decorators haven't been doing too much at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, we had there are a few people in our community who were putting things outside, and their claims are very empty right now. And for those of you who don't know, they did make it so that you can build for the next week, I believe, until next Thursday. You can replace all your stuff and then some, they say, and then some for one gold coin. I always mix it up. The hex coins.
One hex coin.
Yeah. You can do it for one hex coin to put it back. So for those who don't know, that was added today. So that should
I just put up
compensate.
the notes for it.
Yes, there we go. And those are the ones affected, the logcraft ones, and that was unfortunate, but at least clean up. You can do it. We lost on our road. I keep going back to that. I'm sorry. Have I mentioned that we built a road? They got rid of all of our lamps because they didn't decay. So the braziers that were on there were that we did start with decayed over time. You know, the ones that cost the tier 3 ingots. And so we went with the logcraft ones because they didn't decay at all. So our entire
a lot of people were doing that.
Yeah, and so we have a lot of replacing. We have somewhere in the neighborhood, I don't know, hundreds, because it's a very, very long road. So, and it's 2 roads too that we had.
It's a road that you built.
Hmm?
It's a road that you built.
Yes, it's a road I built. Again, not sure I mentioned it.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
Wait, but Shocky, you were building a road?
Yeah, it took 2 months. Yeah.
It took 2 months. Okay, so you road to where though?
Yeah, actually, no, I never said where, but it was actually to connect connect the Calm Woods to the swamp through the Rocky Garden. So now you can go get all your tier 5 trees and ship them easily across to the without needing to use a boat or anything like that. But you can just drive on a very wide flat road. I'm not sure if I mentioned. Yeah, it's something you can do. So yeah, that I never mentioned where the road actually went to, but there was an actual reason for it. And then the tier 10 clay is available for those who celebrate.
Wait, I just realized it is the tiny little spider pet that's behind the pumpkins there. We can actually see it in the photo.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I just realized that when I went back and I was like, I want to see what this is again. No, it's a tiny little spider.
There we go. So it is okay. All right, there we go. That is very nice. I like that pet. I like all the pets. And not sure I mentioned, but I got the catfish.
So lucky.
Yeah. It took way too much time, but it is possible. That was the main thing I wanted to show, if it was possible. And also, by the way, I did it on an alt, so I was playing the game regularly, and my alt was fishing for 4 straight days. So just saying, that's what it took. Tier 10 clay was available for those who celebrate, which there might only be like 3 people.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So that will help out very much for actually. Will that help for your upgrade? Because you don't need tier 10 stuff. You just need the tier 9 stuff.
We don't even have any.
You'll finally be able to
either.
Yeah.
That is interesting to me, thinking about that. To hit tier 10, you only needed the tier 9. So, what is tier
You can make a tier 10 terrorist if you want, but it doesn't do anything. Not at the moment.
That's
Okay,
true. Yeah.
because that makes me wonder, like, is tier 10 even like are people stopping at 90 because tier 10's kind of like there's nothing to do with it? Like, what do you do with tier 10 stuff?
You
There's
say
nothing
that.
to do with tier 10, but people are stopping at 90 because they're not even halfway to 100. It takes a long time to get to 100.
That
So
is true. Yeah, and I know the settlement that has the fake tier 10, basically the X on the map in region 2, and I always mess up their name, but they've had a lot of people kind of taking a break right now
Is it
because
Kalamalu or something like that?
yeah, something like that. Calamari. Yeah, I apologize because Boz is in my chat
calamari.
all the time. Calamari.
It's just called
Yeah, calamari.
calamari.
And yeah, that's I always am terrible with pronunciations anyway. So yeah, they've had a lot of people taking breaks. They've reached tier 9, but they are a tier 10, the beginnings of it. But they're on the map. They're the only X on the map. But they've had a lot of.
They
I
do
think
mark
they're-
the spot.
Yeah, and the word is they have like 8 or 9 people actively just
There,
doing all
there's
this
yeah,
stuff.
like there's like 8 or 9, and they're all running alts at the moment. Like
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, the fish oil
People are
alone.
just like getting a little bit tired. That's fine. It's a long
Yeah.
haul game, and the unfortunate part is that there's the back of the mind it is going to be reset. So
Yep. So, but hey, just to say you did it also in much faster time than devs said that they were expecting over a year, and we're not even 6 months in, and they should beat the 6-month mark. That's the word on the street is they should be able to get it before the game is 6 months out or have
Now,
been out for 6 months.
now completing everything to like tier 10, doing all the skills, all the professions. Now that'll take a lot
Right.
longer. But
Yes, that is true.
yeah.
That is true. So the fixes from this week, they did fix a few things. There were some issues from the previous week with movement. And I know there were people who were trying to get to, this was even going back as far as when the dungeons came out. You would click to move, just the regular click, not even the one that, you would right click, for example, to start mining something. You would left click on things, but it started interacting with trees and all that stuff, and it made running through the woods. That's been fixed, and that was nice. And this says jittery movement when hunting on mounts was fixed. I haven't tested that. Have either one of you gone in since this update and tried that?
I haven't done the hunting on mounts, but when they say hunting on mounts, they just mean hunting on mount because it's the one goat
Right, that's
right
true.
now.
It's only one mount. Yes.
So
Maybe
yeah.
they're giving something away. Maybe mounts means, hey, little possible hint there at the future.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's see. So enemies having negative armor values by debuffs. I'm sure that actually might have been kind of a good bug, but it's been fixed.
There's a lot of good
And-
bugs that get
Right.
fixed all the time. Kind of like Jurassic Park.
Yes, exactly. I will always miss that one. But yeah, looking at a whole bunch of these, yeah, click to move, not ignoring resources. That was the one. That's after this next one, the marketplace notifications not showing up. Have you all seen that? I haven't gone out of region much.
I got excited every single time I transfer regions, thinking that my things got sold, and it would tell you that it was like 1 of 1 sold. It would tell you like list all of your stuff, and I was like, I would go down to a marketplace and be like, oh, my stuff's sold. No, and then I just got to the point where I'm like, it's not. It's something that's gonna happen
Jaded.
every single time. Oh, it's just gonna be something soon. The fact that I now never check my market to actually see if something's sold because of this, and now knowing it's fixed, when I see that notification, I'm gonna be a little bit more happy.
Okay, that's good. Tell
I don't
you-
travel regions that often because I'm in the best region in the game, but I do get that message a lot. So
It's true.
Yes. Not to flex on us being in the best region, huh?
Sorry, Tell.
I don't know how
Where's
y'all
the
didn't
beach? Is the beach over there? Do you have to tie your shoe?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how you guys didn't clock it immediately the second game come out. That Region 5 would be the place to be.
oh no.
I had someone in my community who was just like, you gotta go to 5. 5's the best. Like, I like 1.
But for the future, I think going to 4 or 6 for me. I don't want to be on 5 because it's gonna be too much of a hassle trying to get land and do stuff. But I do want to be not in Region 3 or 7 or 9 or 1. I kind of want to be able to transfer between like north and south. So 4 and 6. Region 5,
Yeah.
I'm coming for you. It's gonna be
Yeah.
4 or 6 now.
Yeah, those middle ones where you're between the desert and the snowy places. That's, yeah, I'll say Region 1, that's one of a lot of land is desert, like an entire continent. And Region 2 also, for that matter. It's just kind of...
3 is the same way. We have one whole just chunk that is just desert, and there's like nothing there.
Yeah. So it kind of, though I did get my heart finally to that I can actually go stand in the desert and not drink tea. So I had a lot of help getting that, but
I'm drinking tea currently.
Oh, nice. There you go. Now you can go to the desert.
Yeah.
So pathfinding for farming fields and terraforming dig sites, that was a problem. That's been fixed. So that's nice because the pathfinding was sending me all sorts of new places when I'd have to walk through farmed fields. Either one of you try that when it was broken?
Oh, I think so the last 2 weeks I actually stopped slowly playing BitCraft just because of the annoyance of playing the game. Actually hit like a peak for me, and it wasn't because of anything that was going on. It was just simple point and click. It was simple movement. It was the pathing. It was like climbing bosses. Like there was just a little bit of everything, since like, you know, once you implement one thing, you break 5 other things. It just accumulated. So I was like, okay, this game is really frustrating for me. So like knowing that they're fixing the pathing and kind of fixing a little bit of like not being stuck in caves, not being stuck on your deployables, like the stuff that was actually making the game very just annoying.
Right.
Yeah, like you can, even if you like the gameplay systems, it doesn't feel polished when there's like little things like that. So it's good that they're
Yeah.
able to fix them.
Agreed.
Well, for me, the frustration was because everything felt, well, not everything, but most of it felt smooth prior. But for some reason, the last 2 patches really kind of put things into a wonky state. But they are fixing it, which is important to know. But yeah, for some reason, I don't know what caused so many bugs to kind of happen. Tell before was
Might be that background thing you were saying.
Yeah.
The background stuff that they changed.
You were talking about what tech debt. Is that what the terminology was that you were saying before?
I was thinking of a different game, but yeah, it can be like that. But I mean, the game started on mobile, which was interesting. Started on, they completely changed over.
But yeah, so them fixing bugs right now. But that's one of the biggest reasons, the pathfinding. If I, even in my own town, I would find myself pathing like diagonal through something else to go somewhere, just to be like, I wanted to go in a straight line. Like,
yes. Yeah, I had same thing. And it was just weird, all the stuff. And it would put me behind one of my houses. I would click on this area and the character would run and just stop behind a house. And I'm just like, I had one person in my community who was ready to uninstall the game and stop playing because he was so mad at the pathing. Because it was very, very annoying. So.
Yep.
So, but yeah, the other stuff that they fixed, I don't actually understand this one, but not being able to extract resources on neutral claims. First question I have was, what's a neutral claim? And
tree.
A tree.
Or yeah.
Okay, so
like
if you
like a world tree, a dungeon. You know how like the dungeons had like a bunch of stuff around them? They're a claim. The dungeons are a claim.
Got it. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, I did see.
If the dungeons,
Okay.
if the dungeons had stations, you could work on them, and then they would generate hex coin. They are a claim.
I did see that
So,
people being like the
interesting. Okay.
traveler's fruit, they couldn't pick up the
The
traveler's.
traveler's fruit. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes
That
traveler's fruit
makes
would get
sense.
stuck under shit, right? So being able to destroy the tree that it's stuck on is helpful.
Right. That's true. And so that was actually one of my regrets, that I wasn't able to log on the second this update went live and go run to the traveler's tree and get all the fruits that were all over the ground, because there were so many on the ground.
There's-
Now, yeah, now I get it.
There were some lucky people out there, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah, there were so many. By the time I made it, they were gone. So I've actually never picked up a traveler's fruit off the
I
ground.
haven't either. I was there for like 8 hours one day trying to go around between region 1, region 3, and region 6 to like 4 different trees, and I didn't get a single fruit for 8 hours. And then
Wow.
someone's like, "Oh, you do realize that there's a way to like track it on this website that you can see once it pops up?" And I was like, "No." No
Yeah.
wonder I was not getting any, because there was like, they would pop up and someone would immediately go get it because they had the.
It's a problem with the public info stuff.
Yeah.
Is
that's one
that
of
you can even have a bot tell you when one spawns, so
Right.
you can get it right away. So
It was.
which is going to be fixed once they yeah, we're talking about trees. Once there is a solution, like a security solution, that will prevent them from being able to do that and add privacy to these kinds of things, which will help with that problem in particular.
That's good. There needs to be some things private.
I'm
made
really
private.
tired of people knowing what I ate for breakfast. Just saying.
Exactly.
Oh, they know everything.
Yeah, that was on BitGita. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting just how that worked out. And some of the other things that were fixed this week were the supply protection threshold not being enforced in some cases, which I did see some people, yeah, they were not able to, or it was not, or no,
They
some
were-
people were able to.
Yeah, you were able to spend more than the supply had allowed, which was not good.
So this almost happened to us, because one of the biggest things for this was if you were the owner of a claim and you're making capsules.
Yeah.
And
You have permission to override it. which
you
is
have
pointless.
permission to override it. And I accidentally at one point almost hit click all, and it would have put us at like 20 minutes remaining on our claim. And
Oh,
this is the first time, now keep in mind again, I've never been in a war before. I hadn't been making capsules and all this kind of stuff. And so the fact that this was something that was a potential, I legit shit bricks for like an hour being like, "Oh, please don't do this. I want my settlement." And the fact that it was actually a bug and they pseudo fixed it, I think. So just the fact that wasn't an option. Keep that in mind, owners. So we need to be aware of some things that we could possibly do that might overwrite the system. So,
right.
Yay.
And so also the not being able to climb out of water. I did not experience this one. I thought that was a funny one though, if I had experienced that. Either one of you?
No,
Not being able to climb out of water? Okay. I did have cases where things told me they were underwater, but they weren't. Like my cart in the swamp. It said your cart is submerged and you can't get it. And you would have to actually deconstruct. And I had it was actually a wagon. I had a wagon full of tier 5 wood. So it was 1,000 tier 5 wood. And it told me that I couldn't pick it up because it was submerged. So I actually had to take it apart. And I was actually really concerned by deconstructing it because, it's dropping 1,000 wood on the ground. And I was concerned that it was actually going to somehow, because of some bug, get rid of my 1,000 tier 5 wood. It
I'm
didn't.
assuming it didn't.
Yeah, it did not. So, but yeah, it all worked.
It's just little quirky stuff like that is probably what will stop the game from being really great for a while, because we have a lot of patience with it because we have passion for the game, but your average consumer is not going to be like super psyched about weird little things like that. So
yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, I had somebody in our community who was ready to uninstall. I mean, that's actually someone who is very passionate about the game, playing it a lot of hours. And so, it's these things hopefully become fewer and far more infrequent. But
There was
that
also the boat one. It's not just the wagons. Like if you were in a
right.
boat and you docked too close to land and like part of the boat was inside land. I don't again, we've gone through so much data. Was that also addressed at some point? Was that fixed? I think they might have said it in the Discord. But
I've not tested that. I'm now afraid to dock because yes, when I was going back and forth doing all that fishing, I did get that I would be stuck, and I was also afraid I was going to lose all the fish.
And you couldn't even get back into the boat, like to move it. It was like, oh, you're submerged or something, like you were saying with the wagon situation. But the fact that you can in a boat go halfway into the land,
right? Yes.
To begin with. And there was many times where I was like, oh, I have to unequipped or what it's the thing where I have to get rid of my boat, things drop on the ground, and then do it again. I'm like, oh, this is like that again. This is part of the patch stuff that we were saying is the growing pains of the last 2 patches. So it will get better, guys. I promise. Well, actually, I don't know if I can promise that, but hopefully.
Right. We can hope. We can hope. The chat channel resetting was annoying because you'd have to rejoin chat channels. We did have that in our region. I haven't tested it since they fixed it, but that was something. Did either one of you have that where it would kick you from a channel?
I didn't have it kick, but I did have people not able to join. Like there was a glitch. Like sometimes when you trade someone and the trade menu doesn't pop up or something like that. It was the same thing, but with inviting people to the chat channels. So we made one for our empire, and people were like, I don't have any notification whatsoever. And so like I'd have to try and resend it, but then resending it, it already told me like the person had an invite, it was pending. So then I had to do it as like listed or something like that, and then have people like read. It was a little bit of a hassle, but we did eventually get it to the point where I said, hey guys, like make sure you're online. I just can't send you this invite, be it like a trade channel. And so I was like, we found loopholes, but it was a little frustrating for people to be like, I didn't get anything. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just stopped using it. So
that makes sense. All right.
Do you guys have like a region channel? Did anyone make like a region channel or any interesting channels that you found?
We have one. It's interesting. It's Hex and High Water is a big, very social group, and so that one has kind of gotten a lot of people in our region, at least on that channel.
That's Jez, right?
Close to the region. Yeah. No, I haven't seen her in a while, but it's a lot.
I saw her today. She's playing on my Minecraft server.
Oh, nice. Okay. Very cool. Yeah, that is her settlement and empire. So they're the more of the social group in region 1, and so I'm in that chat, and that one tends to get a good amount of people talking often. So yeah, it's just nice that it doesn't reset. So the next thing, the Gothic furniture, which again, I'm at level 59 and 3/4 in construction, so I haven't done that yet, but
I'm transferring my entire settlement into nothing but the Gothic furniture.
Nice.
And it is expensive. It was
that checks out.
It was 42,500.
Yes.
And plus you have to have it's tier 6, right? For the Gothic furniture?
Tier 6.
So I took from settlement funds because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna like front this myself, but like as a whole for the settlement, yes, we want the Gothic furniture. Cool. Took it from settlement funds, gave it to someone who had the 60, and the day that we were like, okay, we're gonna craft a bunch of this, and then suddenly they were like, we're not getting anything back from this, and I was like, oh no. So we put everything on pause, and then now thankfully with the deconstruction being a thing,
Now
but I thought it was just going to be seasonal. Like I thought because the Gothic furniture coming out at the seasonal time frame, I thought the Gothic furniture was just seasonal, not realizing that it's actually a whole new furniture set. And so them not getting something back from it being deconstructed, I was like, oh, it's a seasonal thing, it'll be fine. Oh no. So yay for the other people who enjoy the Gothic furniture. Like
no, it's very good. That is very good. Have you done anything with the Gothic stuff?
I've just seen it in Starbucks house. I don't think we've done too much with it yet.
Okay.
Most of the claim stuff is done by Esper and Land. I think they've been mostly just grinding.
Okay. All right. The next chunk of changes are for the Arachnir dungeons, the tier 7 stuff. They did make them, and I haven't tested this since they made all these changes.
1 sec.
But I will say projectiles now will correctly despawn. When I did do it that first night and I went to my house, all the projectiles were still on the screen because I guess you're in this kind of no man's land, kind of, the void. And in that void were all the projectiles that were fired in all the times I had done the dungeon that night. So I know what they mean by the correctly despawn. They literally were not despawning.
But speaking of lighting up really quick, someone asked, do the lights light up from the Gothic furniture? They do not yet. However, it is a known issue. So I just want to throw that in there while we're talking about it really quick before we moved on, because that is an actual bug. It is something that they do know about. The Gothic lights do not currently give you any fire buff or have any ambient lighting, but they do know it's a thing. And so hopefully it'll be in a future fix. So on to dungeon stuff. Sorry, I wanted to throw that in while we were...
Oh, no, that's good. That's good. I was actually wondering the same thing, so that's awesome. So a few of these changes, again, I haven't tested it. Either one of you gone into this? Because there's a good bit here. It's, max damage lowered by 10%, or rather the small Arachnir min and max damage by 10% lowered, and then lowered the big Arachnir by 10%, lowered the big Arachnir HP by 500, the small by 10, and just a bunch of these other things that would make it a little easier. Have you heard anything about these changes?
I've seen, and
I don't know who's been in. Yeah.
No, well, bless his soul, Tony. So one of the other BitCraft partners, Tony, who's amazing in Region 9. Always love to try and give him a shout out at least every single BitCast that we have, because he's an amazing person. He was recently doing it since the change, and they were doing it between a kite method and like they were talking about kiting, and then also just in general having enough people to zerg it down. But it does seem like it's not impossible. It just takes a bit more coordination to do it with the way that they're intending. So don't be discouraged.
It scales to 8 as well. So
8 people. People have been saying that they've been going in with 12 to 15 people. And they've, as long as they're kind of about the same gear score, so like tier 5 to tier 7. I know a couple people have like rockin' tier 8s for the duelist gear and stuff like that. They've been able to clear it pretty well. Also, look at the main Discord. They do have looking for groups. So if you are interested in doing the dungeons, make sure that you go check those out. There's also a whole other Discord. Just connect with your fellow BitCrafters, and I'm sure you can get into a dungeon if you really want to. So, but yeah, Tony and Cloudy, amazing people if you want to look for dungeons. They're constantly streaming as well. and so ask them. They're good.
Very cool. Okay. That is very good to know. I have not personally been able to go in and try it out. So those are the big chunk of changes there that were in this whole thing. And yeah, that's something that's good to hear that Tony was able to test it a bit. So I would like to eventually get in there. The traversal changes. And this is actually something I
Sentinel
did
Dungeon. Tier 3.
Sentinel Dungeon. Oh, the tier 3 one was...
They ended up...
the increase. That's true. The increase, the coins from the Sentinel Dungeon. See, that's hidden in this giant chunk of Arachneer because it's actually titled Arachneer Dungeon Changes. But yes, there you do get 30% more coin,
which is
from
actually a
the
big
Sentinel
deal.
Dungeon, and that is actually a very, very big deal. And that's the tier 3 dungeon. So yes, thank you for pointing that out.
The dungeon or the damage threshold, I know a lot of people because it's a nest, and they lowered the damage threshold required to get better loot by about 50% because of the tanks for that.
Yeah.
Because if you do a kiting strat, it's a little difficult. So the fact that they actually are paying attention to the tanks, Teloril. I don't know if you're fronting that war front. Advocating for the tanks. Good job. But the fact that is a thing that they have now. Hey, we understand you guys are not getting gear and stuff like that. So it is a big deal.
An excellent point. Yeah, that's
and in this game it's expensive to be a tank too because you gotta buy potions.
That's
true. Oh yeah.
I'm on my DPS. I just buy some duelist gear. All right, whatever, bro.
I feel seen. But yeah, that is a good point because when we were doing the dungeons on that first day when you could use the Jurassic Park method, our tanks were getting a lot less a lot less coin than I was. I was getting between 3,000 and 5,000 per run, and the tanks were getting closer to 2,000. So it was quite a difference. So the damage threshold, that would make a difference. Also, I didn't notice the movement speed was increased in that dungeon too, and that can make a huge difference when you're doing the kiting. So that is nice. Gives a little more defense at least. So, but then moving on to the next part, the traversal changes, which I did test yesterday. The carts, not wagons, can go into a depth of 4 up from 2, rather down. Go to a depth of 4 down from 2. I guess down more 2. I guess I don't know, but up from 2
depth is 4 up from 2.
Up
just
up
a height of 4 up from 2.
Yeah. But you're going down 4.
You can go up 2.
Right, So yeah, it is nice actually, because again, I have to do a lot of swamp gathering. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but we built a road to that swamp. And
I should have named this episode Roads.
Yes. But it makes it so much easier. It's really kind of a specific for the swamp type thing because it's really hard to traverse in the swamp with a cart or a wagon. I couldn't do the wagon, but to be able to do the cart and get all the different things that I need to get last night was nice. So have you all tried that out yet before?
I have not tried the 4, but I am looking forward to trying it because there are certain areas like swamp exactly where you have a lot of patches that are a little bit deeper than what you would assume. I would also I would like at some point, BitCraft community, please post a photo that shows what 2 means, what 4 means, what 12, 18 means, because a lot of times you think it's just like this much or this much, like the way, like I wish there was a way to see exactly what they meant by how tall something is.
4 is pretty deep.
Yeah, and so like trying to, I think if you do construction and if you do like the actual like terraforming stuff, you can kind of tell what 1 is, what 2 is, what 4 is. But for people who don't do digging or towering, having a visual of that. So if someone throwing it out in the universe, please make a visual for people to know what this is.
Good idea.
But we do have a couple areas that look like it should have been traversable, and it really wasn't, because it was just like a tiny bit deeper. So I'm hoping the next time I get on, then my wagon can actually go
your
across that.
cart.
Yeah.
Wagon won't.
Sorry,
cart
carts.
will.
Yes, carts.
Yeah. And your ox will too. So while the ox can't walk on cement too well, it can go into this deep stuff. So it's actually pretty good. I had my ox following me while I was doing this too, so I got the kind of double the amount of gatherable. So that was nice. The whitewater skiff can now go up 18, and that's a lot, up from 12. And that is actually nice. Either one of you tell boats?
Bro, I'm a scholar. Okay. I've seen the screenshots.
18's pretty high though.
It's pretty good.
That's like three height of
sure, pretty good.
3 characters, I think. Height is 6 of a character. I'm not 100% certain.
I still need to make a whitewater skiff. I hadn't made one since the original. Hey, it's not working. But the fact that it says skiff specifically and not the clipper, so I don't know.
Is there a whitewater clipper? I haven't.
I thought so. Or no. It's the Windrider clipper. It's Windrider, and then it's the whitewater. Yeah. So the only thing that's the same between the two is cargo, I think. Yeah. But I haven't made one since the original. Hey, this isn't working right now, and they showcased it on the stream. So at some point, I should probably do that. So
nice. Okay, and the known issue, you covered that with the incorrect protected time when crafting capsules. So that is a known issue. So be careful out there, everyone. And the Regal fabric, I only have bought one, so I don't know about the stack. But the stacks, going back to even introduction of the Regal fabric here, it doesn't go in your inventory. It doesn't go in any inventory. It goes into your vault in a new tab, which also, if you've noticed, everything has dots instead of the deploy. It doesn't fit anymore. And then they've got the I can't remember the name of it.
Premium tab.
Yeah, or the premium dot. And it doesn't, or that's where it goes. So it's like another inventory space basically for the premium stuff. So I thought that was interesting that you don't actually get it. So I guess to make sure that you can't trade it. So
they I'm gonna try and find in the patch notes super quick if they have it. They did say that they updated the UI for that, so it does show like the cost, what it takes to craft, stuff like that. I brought it up earlier where people were buying it not knowing how many hex coins it actually costs. So that is something to pay attention to. It is expensive. It's 2,500. Tell, what was the price for the fabric?
Fabric is 2.5K. 200 bits.
So
or just under $5.
Yeah. So be careful. That
one fabric is just under $5. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
So 2 to make a banner, because you need 2, right?
Yeah. Well, $5 gives you 3.5K, right?
Okay. Yeah. And so
Something
then
like
2 of them would be about. So a banner's $8 per, basically, each one you make.
Yeah, for like the Regal ones. Yeah.
Okay. That's expensive. It's a little pricey.
Little thing, yeah, they're pretty expensive.
Yep. So. But if people want them, people buy them.
Yeah, this is true. You know, it is a cosmetic, and they gotta they got to get their bag somehow. The game makers. So so with that, those are all the major updates this week, because we had 3 weeks worth of things to go through with this. We don't have any, because normally this would be where we show off some settlements and different things around the land. So we don't have anything this week. But if you do want to submit something that you find, there is a link for a form somewhere. And I think Ember's putting it in the chat. Ember put it into the chat. So if you all want to submit something that you've seen that's neat, that you think would be great to show off, I hear there's a really cool road that goes from the calm forest.
They literally just posted
Far
that
out.
in chat that says submit your road.
So yeah, there's this road that we could show off. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but if someone could submit that, that'd be cool. But yeah, if you see anything neat, or you see a settlement that just is really good, or if you own your own settlement you want to show off on this, you please submit the form. Now with that, we'll do our post. I'll start with Ember. Tell us about yourself for the outro.
You caught me. I will switch screens. Now I have to go back to my other screen.
Oh.
So good. Hi, I'm Ember, also known as Kat. Welcome to the channel. So I mainly stream weekdays when I'm not sick. I had to take a couple of days off, and we'll probably, depending on how I feel, come Monday we'll have to take more days off. But weekdays, afternoons, Pacific time. So yeah, check that out. And then I will send it over to Tel.
Hey, I'm Tel. You know me. I changed my streams. It's not Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I actually made it a little bit easier for me because of daylight savings kind of screwed me up. So I do Friday afternoons and Saturday afternoons. Makes it nice and easy for the Americans and Europeans. I wake up really early, basically.
Nice. And I am Shocktor, and I stream usually 4 or 5 days. I have on there Sundays. Sundays is kind of a influx day generally. I do sometimes, but yeah, it's usually around 11:15-ish Eastern time. It's good for Australians, terrible for Europe, and almost bad for the United States too. It's great for Australia. My stream time. But yeah, that is my schedule, and I do YouTube stuff. I need to do a lot more. And
Tell us about your video that you posted, because you posted a video in a while.
There you go. It had been forever, and I finally did post and in that video, by the way, I talk about a certain road. So
no way.
You all should check it out. It's just a little thing that I wanted to get out there for BitCraft, since I've played this so much and have not actually made a YouTube video. I figured, why not? So links are all, am I pointing the right direction? It's on the side there. So
I went through every single thing just to try and find the outro again.
There we go. So yeah, with that, that is the end of our episode for tonight, and I just need to do a clicky thing for me here.
A clicky,
and another clicky for my stuff. There we go. So thank you all. Seriously, thank you all for being here and watching this. Thank you for joining us for another episode of BitCast, the unofficial BitCraft Vodcast. We know, all of us know, you could be anywhere else. We appreciate you being here and spending time. This is always great. Don't forget to fill out the form that's in the chat for cool things that you want us to showcase next time. Our next episode, speaking of next time, will be
I have no hands.
Say that again?
I was pointing at Tel to do it in the chat. And he couldn't do it because he has no hands.
Oh. So yes, so next time we will be it'll be a month from now because of all the holidays, so we will be doing it, or at least we have holidays in the US coming up in late November, so it makes it easier. We'll be back in 4 weeks on Friday, December 12th. Same time, same place, same channel. And yeah, that is so yeah, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can watch us on our individual channels throughout the week. And until then, bye and have a good one.
Bye,
See y'all later.
everyone.
See ya.